My friends, we are back on the Hermitcraft server. It's time for another Liggity live stream. Oh, thank you everyone for those bananas in chat. I appreciate the bananas, lets me know that we're live. On the Twitch, .tv / the Assumer, that's where we're hanging out right now. We're hanging out, peeps. All day long I've been thinking about this stream. Actually, any day there's a stream, I tend to just think of doing a stream. Amazing start to this live stream, we're trapped. Jeez. Jeez! Jeez Louise. Okay, that happened. Right, we need to go steal a beacon. Yeah. And pre-stream music was Korn with Freak on a Leash. What a tune. When I went to bed last night, I just had Korn stuck in my head, and they're on the list of bands that I am enamored by. Like, I can just get so into it, it just feels like... This is how much I love music, it just feels like nothing else matters but the music. And Korn are one of those bands on that list of, like, special bands that can do it for you. And, yeah, they just came into my head last night. And then when I woke up in the morning, all I could think about was, like, Korn, Got the Life, Freak on a Leash, songs from that era. And then I looked in my feed on YouTube subscriptions and saw that Rick Beato had done a video on Korn, Freak on a Leash, and I was just like, oh, just the timing, you know, the timing. But yeah, tomorrow's workout day. I know what my music is. I know what my music is. It's gonna be Korn, and I'm gonna love it. I'm looking forward to it already. Teenage tunes, in my opinion, says Gamer Chick. Definitely a teenage band, but like, as I always say with music, if you find something you love in it, hold on to it. Don't let it go. I found Korn when I was a teenager. It was like 13 or 14 or something. And I've loved them ever since. And I've never wanted to let go of what I love about them. You know, like, some of the content of the songs isn't really like relevant to me anymore. I'm not like an emotional wreck like I was as a young person. So it doesn't like really mean so much, but like, it does because I went through all of that, and that was the soundtrack to it all, and I adored it. It got me through it, you know? Their record Untouchables was just one of the most emotional periods in my life when I was listening to that. To the point where it actually got, like, difficult. There was a time in my life when I could not put that record on anymore. Luckily I got over that and I can enjoy all those songs again. But I want to hold on to all of that. I want to hold on to all that magic. Dude! Wow, it's about... Let's go fix it up. Let's go fix it up first. Also, I'm gonna leave this here, which I'm probably gonna find a reason to regret. Okay. Those need repairing. I'll bring them with us. Hey Sumo, are you making the fog effect today? Says Visual Habit. Yes, I am. The fog effect. I like it. I like it very much. Let's see how far we get with these wings. Oh no, is it actually... Yeah, it's actually... When did it die then? Because I landed on the ground and it was okay. Corn on the cob, says Silverhawk. Let's talk about Korn a little bit. Okay. Here's some homework for y'all to do. Okay, you can do it right now if you want. I give you permission to leave your stream, right? If you want to see a sea of people going mental, like a wave, like a crowd you have never seen responded to a band before, right? I would put a bet on this. I have, you know, I love live music. I've seen so many live videos, and I've never seen anything quite like Korn opening at Woodstock 99. When they play Blind and it kicks in, and you go look it up on YouTube, Woodstock 99, Korn, Blind, you will see a sea of people as far as you can see. There's like 500,000 people, and they are all moving up and down to the music, and it is just like, wow. That is like one concert I would have loved to have gone to, you know? And I challenge you, I don't think you'll ever find a bigger crowd of people moving to the music as you would that video. I'd love to see it if you know there's one bigger, but maybe the only thing that might compare is perhaps Metallica, Pantera, AC/DC when they played in Russia, when they did the free concert. I think like 700,000 people went to that. But bigger crowd, but not the same kind of energy, man. When Korn kick in with that song Blind, the crowd moves up and down like a sea of people, and the tide is coming in. It is just unbelievable. I'm looking at chat and I'm guessing that maybe not so many other people have seen that video. Surely someone else has seen it. It's an incredible moment in rock history. Oh yeah, people are talking about Iron Maiden Rock in Rio. So I've seen AC/DC Rock in Rio, and that is quite remarkable. Not the same vibe as Korn, but yeah, definitely an incredible amount of people moving together. Have not seen it, says Flanders Hers. Go out and check it out, it's amazing. It was absolutely mental, says Ghostly Pancake. It was mental indeed. Just watched it, it's insane, says Revolution. It is literally insane, isn't it? It's one of those videos that you'll just like click back and watch that first bit where everyone starts jumping over and over again. It's so amazing. Bloxers says, "Oh my god, just seen it." Yeah, it's really that good. Assumer is trying to educate the youngsters, I see. Yeah, I'm trying to tell them about the Korn and the history, and the Woodstock, you know. Yeah. So anyway, that's just been on my mind. You know, that was such a. And oh, do you know what? It gives me some real nostalgic memories of Napster, because back when we used to download stuff on Napster, like that had just happened. Woodstock had just happened, and people were like putting the videos on, and you would have to wait days to get that video. But it was so worth it. I downloaded like Limp Bizkit and Metallica, and you could just get the whole concerts. It was the most unbelievable thing. And back then, you know, it was kind of like you could kind of see the future coming a little bit if you were sort of doing that stuff way back then. Like you could kind of see how video on demand would probably end up being the future. So yeah, I've probably still got those files like stashed away on a CD somewhere, but you can just watch it on YouTube now. But like from back in the day on Napster, downloading like Korn concert and opening up the Woodstock one and just being like, what is going on? There's just a sea of people moving. It's unbelievable. I remember you could buy the PPV for Woodstock 99, says Grendel Prime. That's probably whatever PPV stands for. It's probably it. It's like the closed circuit video thing, I think they call it, you know. Like a lot of concerts over time are just recorded by the camera that's in-house, but like there's never ever been plans to do anything with it. Then in the age of YouTube, you got all of this like old footage, dusty old footage lying around, and people are just like, yeah, let's just throw it up on YouTube, and it's kind of like in a copyright grey area. No one really cares. They're just going to let you throw it up there. So you can actually go and find like Genesis concerts are really fascinating, because they innovated a lot with costume and stage design and lights and lasers. You can go watch their old concerts from like the 70s and stuff, which was sort of the stuff of legend until YouTube comes around, and then it's like, oh, you can actually go watch it now. Pay-per-view. Ah, okay, pay-per-view. Rick says, just watch the Korn video, it's totally crazy. It is, it's literally crazy. Literally crazy. Did I put it on? I put it on. Okay, we're not dying. I'm not making a fool of myself, I repeat. Okay, now we're going to read some noises in the ear. We're going to read some chat today. I will get to that just after we get back to the portal. PPV is still a thing that gets used, Sunny Spacecraft. Yeah, pay-per-view is still pretty big for sports events, I believe. I was reading that when the Premier League restarts, that they're going to put lots of it up on YouTube to watch for free, streaming, which is what they've done with the Champions League and Europa League finals. Not really well advertised, but you could just watch them for free on YouTube, which was interesting. So I feel like I'm itching for football a bit, because the Bundesliga is going to be starting up, and I was thinking, oh, I might tune in for a couple of days. You know, I've been starved of my football. Anyway, let's go read these noises. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Oh my god. Thank you everyone so much for your tremendous support, and thanks for putting up with me not reading them, because now as I scroll back I realise we're pretty close to premium tea drinking temperature. You know? Right, so Evo Tobias Royale for 4 months. Odin's Dreads for 2. We got Noz Stoke. Bud Live. Arnie 2 for 13 months. Mixanu, the one and only, for 13 months as well. Licky Sticky Icky gifting a sub to Harvey J Gaming. Thank you for doing that. Very kind of you. The Buddy 114 for 8 months. Werewolf Boyo Ren's Cold Sun for 5, Ambassador for 2, Resting Griffin for 24, that's a diamond face in chat, 2 years of support, Yay Cake 2000 for 2 months, Cursed Purity for 2 months, and Mythical Oreo also for 2 months. We've got Krebstar subscribing with Amazon Prime, and GamerChick 40 for 40 months. We got Zakeki Bodhi Ki. I'm butchering that name, I know it. Is it just me or is the audio echoey? It's probably just, I don't know. I can't think of a reason why it shouldn't be echoey. Maybe I just sound echoey. Let me pull the sound barrier around a little more. Maybe that's slightly better. Freya Ebar is here for 3 months, saying, my son and I love your videos and streams. Keeps us going through this lockdown. Keep them up. Glad you're enjoying them. Glad you're enjoying them. Monkey Mode is here with a donation, saying, pick step all the way. Bois, bois, bois. It will play a couple more times before this stream is over, my friend. Thank you for your donation and support. We got Step Pep Sun with the Prime subscription. Molly B. Denis, 42 for 4 months. Devil Donkey, 69 for 2 months. Blast Worm for 3 months. Hex, a band I'd highly recommend checking out is Machine Supremacy. They mix up chiptune with traditional metal. I'll give it a try. Chiptune tends to not pull me in. I feel like chiptune's a genre that could be done to my liking, but the way it's often done is not quite. But I'll check that out. Winter ET. I don't know how to say it. It's here with a Prime subscription. Archex Angel for 2 months. We've got God Save the Queen 123 with the Prime. COVID Gamer with the Prime. One ping only please for 21 months. Lizzie 2003 with the Prime. Iron Dickabro for 17 months, saying, is music by Mike Shinoda something you'd be enamored by? When he was with Linkin Park, absolutely. Never really checked out anything he's done solo, if he has. But Hybrid Theory, just soundtrack to my youth. Your youth is a very vivid time. When you're a teenager, you're like forming a strong part of your identity for the first time, and maybe different people look back on it differently. I certainly look back and think I was an idiot. I should have done things differently, but I didn't know better. All that kind of stuff, right? But it's also like you treasure it as well. It's just so much of that has value, like figuring out who you are and what you like and all that kind of stuff, right? So all the music of my youth, you hold on to. And what's special about Linkin Park is just how universal they were. It's like everyone loved Linkin Park. They were such an amazing band. Goldnov 75 with the Prime. We got Dinglehopper for 11 months. Akash 100 with the Prime. Salmon Eagle 24 with cheers and bits and no message. But thank you ever so much for those cheers and bits. It is appreciated. By the way, goodness me, we've got 6,000 people tuning in for this live stream. Thank you everyone for spending your Friday evening with me. Today was going to be the episode of Hermitcraft you may have just watched, but I decided to push it out a little bit earlier because we've got something special in an episode of Hermitcraft tomorrow coming out. So now my plans are shuffled. Like, I made this plan, like, hey, I'm going to spend extra time, give myself some more kind of like relaxed approach to making videos. Going to space it out a little bit, and before you know it, it's undone. I knew that would happen. It's how it always goes. But I very much enjoyed making videos with like a sense of less pressure. Like, just it is better not having to kind of like rush yourself, so to speak. Like today was a bit more kind of like militant. All right, sit down and get this done, kind of thing. Of course, I enjoyed it. Just it's a balance, It's weird. It's like a mental game because I can sit here and sort of like play at the same pace, but the pressure of like when is the next video, it makes it feel different, I guess. It's a strange thing because I could basically, continue to pump them out at the speed I've been pumping them out at and playing just as much as I've been playing. But when I like put that framework, that time work in front of me, it makes it feel different. Then if I just relax and be like, it doesn't matter when you next upload, I'll do just the same stuff, it'll just feel different. Need to find that balance, right? Need to find that balance. Santosh1996 has subscribed. We've got Drayler09 gifting a sub to Comet Jesnert, thank you ever so much for gifting that sub. Kalitas Galita is here, resubscribing. Thank you ever so much. We got Lucas. Oh wow, I'm gonna butcher this one. Luskaterovos. Luskaterovos. The word cat in your name made me think of my walk this morning. Went for a walk, decided to go early in the morning because people ain't respecting the 2-meter rule. Not everyone, just some people. Ah yes, I remembered why I was flying over there now. Hopefully this will be loaded because I need to smelt a bunch of stuff. And we have sand for it up here. So yes, anyway, I went for a walk early in the morning and there was this sweet little kitty cat sitting on top of someone's shed as I walked past, and it was a ginger cat. It just had such a lovely look about it, and it didn't move away like a scaredy cat, right? And so I thought, I'll turn around, say hello to it, and it let me stroke it, and it was all sweet and purdy, and Aunt Cat's lovely. They're wonderful. So yeah, I made a friend this morning. I made a feline friend. Hey X, do you have any advice for using mouse in games? Oh, and that one scrolled off the screen. Great, I didn't really get to read the rest of that. The chat is very fast today. Mods, if you're there, can we get some slow mode on chat? Because it is moving fast. Like, too fast to really focus on a message. Let's continue with the noises. We've got Cheesy Katie for 16 months. We've got Matthew Candy with the cheers and bits saying, love the content, Asuma. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying it. Sim Brewer has subscribed. Zero Sias also subscribing with the Amazon Prime. Porky Goodness with the Amazon Prime as well. We've got Stefan RBK for 11 months. Red Viper 24 with the Prime. Kalasar has subscribed. So has Salty Hallerman for 3 months. And Triax 07 with the cheers and bits saying, hello from Texas, listening while I work. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy. All the way from over there in Texas. What I need to build soon is a wool farm, so I can get grey wool farmed up, put them on these blocks. All that stuff's coming. We're going to focus on the underground bit next. We're going to need certain materials to achieve this build. Cyan terracotta, maybe a bit more of the white stuff. That should be in a... There you go, there's my cyan terracotta supply. There's the white stuff. Gonna grab... That's actually... Oh wait, that's iron. Yeah, and there's the white stuff. So we'll go down below. That probably means we'll need some scaffolding. And here come the chest monsters. Can't get away from them, I tell you. I also need some food. Let's go get some food. Why is there slow mode, says Ranzilla? So I can read chat. So I can read messages like yours. Mindy Twinkle says, Asuma, do you collect anything? I'm not into collecting stuff, funny enough. I'm kind of more of a try to have less material possessions type person. I mean, I've got a lot of little possessions, but usually they perform functions of some sort. I don't collect anything like novelty or whatever. I'm not really into that. The things you own you. What I don't like about collecting stuff is I don't know. For me, I find it like a waste of resources, but then I don't really get a lot of value from having little trinkets and whatnot in my house. My decoration is minimal. It's white walls and cleanness is what I go for. I don't like clutter and stuff everywhere. Winner Uti says, was wondering, learnt this pretty recently. The 6 feet social distancing thing from the 1940s is not accurate since people have the ability to, sneeze. I think saying if it's accurate or not kind of misses the point. The idea is that by distancing ourselves, we reduce the capability for things to spread. Now, you can sneeze and you can certainly send particles a long way, but, everyone's not walking around sneezing constantly, are they? So, in the event of people not sneezing, the distance between us will help slow the spread. Alright, we've got a noise in the ear from Audio Starfish 87, who's here for 7 months. And why did I fly over here? Yellow terracotta. Gotta remind myself. Because otherwise I'll land here and I'll be like, what's going on? There we go, yellow terracotta. That's what I needed. Saying, hello X, I've got a question. What has been the one build that's been a drag to build? Ooh, well this season I'd say the Creeper Tower's just kind of looming in the background. Like that was done like a month ago and then it was like, oh, I've got to build it. I'd say everything we haven't done so far. The Blast Chamber, I keep running into problems with that, so that's been irritating. But for the most part, everything's been enjoyable. Maybe last season, what was the drag to build last season? There are usually like ambitions and then the time that goes into it, and then sometimes you're like, oh god, this is taking too long and it's not fun. But I don't remember too much of that last season. I'm in my main storage area, which you could call my base. It was like an outpost, you know, a little place of operation with a guardian farm. That was a grind to build, but I enjoyed it. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, there's one extra. I'll take it. I'll take it then. Hey X, how did you set up a fabric server, says Dr. Carbon. I set it up. How did I set it up? Like, wait, what am I doing? I'm thinking about, I've got to do something else at the same time. Hang on, I'm going to have to restart my Minecraft. Uh-oh. This is why you shouldn't multitask. Okay, that's done. Right. Back to it. Yeah, I'm not going to explain how to set up fabric. It's the sort of thing like, if you have to ask, how do I make a fabric server? There's just too much to be told. And you're probably going to have to walk most of that path yourself, and it'll take you a lot of time. So, Anaton 546 has subscribed to Amazon Prime. Ethan is here saying, love your videos. Really helping my mental health through this tough time. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, mental health is an important thing, people, during these times. I wish I had some words of wisdom available in my mind right now. The best thing is to always pay attention to what's going on in your own mind. You know, don't shy away from how you're feeling, and try to address those things, because these are indeed tough times, and we've got to get through them together. And we'll need to have a dialogue with ourselves. I myself am coping fairly well, but I am really just like every day, like I'll have a moment where I'll just be like, oh, I just need to see people, and that's fine. But I'm constantly checking in with myself, and I'm reminding myself, remind yourself of the good things sometimes, right? Like a lot of us, there's a couple of them here. They've come through those gaps, maybe. And I was thinking of using those gaps and putting a turtle underneath, turtle egg, and having them run towards it. Anyway, Ranzilla says same. I'm very extroverted. If you're extroverted, it's going to be even tougher, right? But the important thing is to have a dialogue, and listen to yourself. Hey X, are you interested in plants? I'm striving to be a successful botanist. More of a lab one though. I absolutely love exotic plants and hot peppers. I like plants as I like earthly stuff, Plants are an amazing part of everything there is on this planet, but it's not something I've become particularly fascinated with in any way. Gimme a Taco says, introvert here, my mental health is better than ever. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can be introverted and be around other people, right? Like, I find it interesting that you would say, better than ever. That is how that corner should look, right? That is how that corner should look. Anyway, I feel like we're going the way of the talkie, right? We're going the way of the talkie. I've got things I can talk about, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that stuff. Let's get through these noises in the ear, though, okay? So Ethan is here with a donation saying, love your videos. Really helping my... Oh, wait, we read that. Thank you again, Ethan. Appreciate it. Sorrel the Soul, here for 5 months, saying, hi, X, I need to relax. So I'm here to watch you build, watch you craft, watch you troll other hermits. Oh, jeez. I don't know if they'll be trolling this stream. Socks and Crocs, here with a subscription. Socks and Crocs. That puts an image in my head. I got some Crocs. I love them. They're so comfortable. They look ridiculous, I know, but, I just don't care. If someone sees me out in the garden wearing my Crocs, I'm like, fuck life. That was the dorkiest thing I could think of saying. That's how much I don't care. Man, I'm going to wear my Crocs. I'm going to rock them. Rock the Crocs. I'm going to enjoy that comfort. Yeah, so we'll bring the walls in here down like this. And it'll look amazing. That's why I got so much black wool prepared. And I'm glad I thought of doing that, because if we're going to start digging away all this space here, we don't need to dig more than we need to, right? This is going to take a bit of time to do, actually, in here. Alright, Lion B is here with Cheers and Bits saying, hearing your voice as always motivate me to get stuff done. Thanks for the great advice and laughs. Awesome, dude. Thank you for your cheers and bits, Lion B. We got Toonami Senpai with a Prime subscription, KiwiBot06 for 2 months. Tazundri for free. And we got Gamer Chick here with the cheers and bits saying, Korn, Got the Life was one of those songs that drove my heart into the love of drums. Thank you for the reminder, my dude. You rock. Big hugs from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for the lovely message, Gamer Chick. Fun story for you. Got the Life by Korn was like the one song of theirs I really didn't like. Because it like the video, it always kind of like struck me as like being like materialistic and stuff, but I think I just didn't really like understand what they were saying. But yeah, I love that song now. I absolutely love it. But when I was like younger and it was like everyone was always listening to like Got the Life, it was like the one song I didn't like for some reason. The video is just awful, says Gamer Chick. Yeah, it's not that great of a video, is it? Also, fun fact for you, Eminem is in that video as an unsigned Slim Shady. You go and watch it, and he's only on like the camera for a short while, but yeah, Eminem is in that video, and that was when he was unsigned and he was going around like, because there was this crazy moment when nu metal was happening where hip hop and nu metal were sort of like colliding, and you know, Eminem was out there trying to get signed, and he was going around to like some of the rock bands as well, and yeah, Korn were one of those bands. Limp Bizkit would be another one. There are stories I've heard about like Eminem and Limp Bizkit were like supposed to be collaborating, but like apparently Fred Durst just kind of kept bailing and not giving Eminem an explanation on why he wouldn't turn up at the studio. Which, oh man, that's kind of sad. Like, would have loved to heard them do more together. Oh, and if you're like, oh, I love Eminem, I love Limp Bizkit, like they have a song together called Turn Me Loose. It is one of these like demos back in the Napster days where it was like, it was one of those things that would have never left the studio, but someone leaked it. You could download it on Napster. It's probably out there on YouTube now. And you can hear some of Eminem's verses that he went on to use like in other songs as well. Really cool stuff. We've got Randy Nicole 2002 gifting a sub to Mad Hatter. Revoco Daff is here. Revoked Oath is what it says. Saying love your videos. Thank you so much. Ranzilla 1 with the Prime. Silver Wolf 92. Emil OID. Rely Drin. Jeez, I'm butchering these names, aren't I? Cockine. Probably butchering that one. Pokemonic for 4 months. We got Fat Scrap for free. We got Odin's Dreads. With those cheers, with those biddies. Cheers and biddies. Saying, did you grow up in a structured home or an unstructured home? I really admire your ethic either way. Don't know what to say by structured. My parents were very like loving, tolerant, acceptable people. But not like they didn't bestow upon me like some of the things I found like very treasurable, like discipline and whatnot. If that makes sense. Like that's nothing against them. It's just like when you say structure, I'm thinking of maybe like all the stuff I talk about discipline. That's not something I got from my parents really. But yeah, that was something that I got from like Henry Rollins, listening to like podcasts and like, you know, growing as a person, just kind of find it. Gamer Chick says, just got to keep rolling, 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 rolling. What? The instrumental of that song is seriously cool. Just going to mention it again. Another, what is it with Napster today? We're having like so much nostalgia. Again, downloading MP3s on Napster when I was a kid, you could get like the instrumental track from the studio without Fred on it, and you can hear so much more in the song. Like, there's more stuff going on than you realise in that song. Now I know you'll be loving this stream right here. Oh dear God, please don't do that again. Please don't do that again, X. That made me shiver. Where did we get to? Son of Bones, Free Eye, LE64, Monster172, Keo Plays, all subscribing, Ash314, with the donation saying, heard you mention Genesis earlier. Kind of a surprise since that's the music I grew up on. Anyways, keep up the good work and stay healthy. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, I grew up with Genesis as well. All eras, like I'm an all eras fan, like from start to end. Although I never really listened to their very first record, from Genesis to Revelation, which often doesn't get cited as their first record, I've noticed. Trespass, isn't it, is usually cited as their first. But yeah, I absolutely love all eras of them. Maybe not so much the Shipwreck era, which I got to see with that other vocalist. I went and listened to that album again a while back, and I was like, this is really not that good. There's a couple of songs on it that are kind of alright, but the album kind of just drifts by. It's like their one bad album, maybe. Oh, right. Best Chuds with the Prime subscription. H2 Fastius with the Prime as well. By the way, peeps, my goodness me. With the subscriptions, with everything coming through at the moment, every time I read something, I'm still 10 minutes behind. It's insane. So, thank you everyone for your tremendous support. Appreciate it. It's cool to hang out and do a grind together, right? We're making some good progress here. I think what we'll do is we'll focus on one sector before we bust out the old beacon, and we'll get some glass in here, which you can probably start doing soon. Tell the Pigman he's extinct, says DMX. Pigmen is extinct. Why should I tell the Pigmen it's extinct? It'll be extinct when I set up a trap. There's like 2 of them hanging out down here. Also, DMX, there's an artist. I never listened to DMX much when I was, like when he was all the rage, right? It literally wasn't until a few years ago that I was like exploring some 90s hip hop. I feel like I need to do that again. I need to find some more artists. And I went and checked out DMX, and I was like, I can get on board with this. It's cool. Amateur says, what's your opinion about Dream Theater? I love their work. Yeah, great band. I really love some of their records. I like their live stuff where they like do Dark Side of the Moon, Master of Puppets. They play it in full. I've also seen them live like 3 or 4 times as well. Really, really great live shows. First time I saw them live, they played in the tent at Download Festival, and they just had this massive drum kit on rotation. I think that was, oh my goodness me. So we were talking about Korn earlier. I've just remembered, like. Actually, I probably really shouldn't tell this story now that I think about it. Yeah, no. I don't advocate of my previous behaviours, but you know, I have a crazy story about being at a Korn show that I just remembered because Dream Theater played before 'em. And it just all came flooding back to me. So weird, just had this like, seems to somehow be like colliding with nostalgia all of a sudden. What is the heaviest band you like, and do you like older metal hard rock or newer hard rock? I like all sorts of stuff, man. I like whatever I can get into, old or new. But heaviest, like, dude, I listen to like, you know, the silliest like slam death metal and grindcore out there. Like, I'll listen to anything that's ridiculously heavy. Let's get back to those noises in the ear, because I'm forever behind, apparently. Where do we get to? McDragon99 with cheers and bits saying, just wanted to say thank you with my first bit cheer. I've been watching for a couple of years and your content has always been there when I start to feel isolated. Dude, if you're ever feeling isolated, man, you should reach out to people. You know, people that are in your life. Just let them know. I think we should be not afraid to let people know we need a bit of company from time to time, you know. But thank you so much for the cheers and bits. We got It's Hammering with the Prime. We got Miss Lucia. We got Wooshmaster for 2 months saying, so, how have you planned for builds? I always have some ideas, but not really knowing where to go next. Also, thanks for good content. You know, I got like an overarching idea in my mind, and then I just kind of wing it. you know, and start building in creative mode. And if I get somewhere with it, then I keep going. At the moment, I actually don't have much left to do. You know, I did the creeper towers last, and I've been trying to find the time to, you know, bang out some more builds. But usually I go in there, and it really takes like a fair bit of time to get going. And then once you get going, I usually have something else that gets in the way. And I just remembered what I came up here to do. We need to go get some glass now. Do we have volume low? Yeah, because we went to the farm. That's why. Cool. Where are we up to? Lizzie Best for 37 months. We got Azak Tak with the Prime. Bra Gubs for 2 months. Overrated Addict for just the 1 with the Prime. Lucas Plays 01. The Lucky John 13 for 3 months. Enjoying the classic Minecraft music in the background. Awesome. Churned Pie 1 with the Prime. Keen Internet 26. JTB with the Prime. J Collins 13 for 2 months. Gus Mustard. We got Starry Eyes 313 for 33 months saying, "Hey X, I don't know if you've heard of the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe podcast. It's mostly a science podcast. Might be a good fit." Yeah, I think I listened to that one time, and if it's the one I'm thinking of, I really didn't like the editing style. I don't know if it was that podcast, but I listened to a podcast that got recommended, and although the content and the value of it was really good, the editing just like, it kept like chopping up all sorts of different things, like interviews and things were out of sync and out of time, and then music would come in, and it was just really like a collage, and it was a bit hard to follow. And you know, you'd be following someone's train of thought, and then all of a sudden they'd jump to something else, and it was a bit like, ugh. Sigma says it's not an edited conversation. Oh, okay, well, obviously I was probably listening to something different, right? Can't remember what that was that I checked out, but you know, I was both impressed and turned off. Basically, it was like, this is good, but the editing sucks. All right, let's make stacks upon making rockets now. Stacks upon stacks upon stacks. Why don't you put the sand in the chest at the top so it gets distributed through the furnaces automatically, says DMX. Because it doesn't really get distributed, it just all goes to the first 1 or 2. And then it gets done slower. So when I need stuff done fast, I put it in manually. It was just a temporary quick setup, it wasn't supposed to be anything good or special. So we got I Am Zion the Zodiac Wolf for 2 months. Oh no, sorry, tier 2 subscription, thank you. Magical Mr. TLC with the Prime. Hidden Games is here for 2 months saying, assume a face reveal. That will never happen, my friend. Zone Out 999 with cheers and bits. Thank you ever so much for your cheers and bits. Spedunko 4 with the Prime, and Theo the Pro 7 for 2 months saying, I've been subbed for 2 months now and I love all the stuff you do and the other hermits have been doing. Awesome, dude. That's great. It's really nice how the server has been running smoothly. A much better experience, says Gant. Indeed, yeah. Good tea. It's getting cold though. Do you follow any specific philosophies? No, I don't follow any. I just, like, whenever I encounter philosophical talk or whatever, like, I just digest it. It just, some of the things that are said and resonate, I try and, like, remember and hold on to. Sometimes I wish I'd write stuff down a little bit, just so you can kind of, like, refer to really good things over and over again, but the more you listen to it and engage that stuff, it just sort of also becomes, like, a bit more second nature. To, like, think in particular ways or think of things. Pig step time once again. We are not going to figure out how many layers we need of this with like not using the beacon. Yeah, I don't know how many Iskall usually does when he does this, right? Does anyone know offhand? Vivek says, so no face reveal, episode 1k. I would recommend you go read that tweet again on what I said. I think I shouldn't have tweeted that, really. I think people misinterpreted what I said. Apparently 6 to 7, some people say 7 or 8. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. But we're going to do it and we're going to enjoy it. You know, we're going to come through the portal a lot, so we're going to see it a lot. Right, in which case I think it's time to bust a rhyme. yo. No? If I'm going to set up a beacon, it needs to go downwards. If I make a large beacon, I think it... Oh, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I think it goes down by 50 blocks, so we probably don't need to make it underground, really, if it's going to be temporary. Just build it up there on the surface, should be good. He did like 100 in Funcraft, says Alison. Wow. 100. We're down here now. We're down here now. We got Peflum subscribing. Jim Jack 4 with the Prime. Sirepods also subscribing. Thank you so much. Hidden C with the Prime. Parade Cam. Steeper Path with the Prime. Teep 17 with cheers and bits saying, have you ever listened to Alter Bridge? Mike Kennedy's voice is phenomenal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've listened to them. I've probably seen them a couple of times at Download Festival. Never been much of a fan. That's all I can say, really. Yeah, I've had plenty of like opportunities to watch them because they're at Download every year. It feels like, and yeah, just not my thing, I guess. Didn't we have our iron ones out here already? Let's set this sucker up. I think I'm gonna try and put it... No, we don't want to put it on the glass because we're working on the glass. Let's go... Just build it off the edge here, I think. Heard the sound of bones. So this is 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 again, and then 1. That should be it. Will you stream tomorrow, says Nee147. I will not be streaming tomorrow. There'll be an episode of Hermitcraft coming out tomorrow. I will be streaming again on Sunday. Possibly Monday. Depends when my next episode of Hermitcraft's ready. For thinking that far ahead. Teep, thank you for your cheers and bits. We've got KRLWLFRT with the Prime. Padanox is here for 15 months saying, loving all the work since Season 2. When I started following you all the Hermits. Awesome, dude. We also got Noel2211 with the Prime for 3 months saying, hey, thanks for making amazing videos. Thank you for your lovely message. Peeps, I'm caught up in the noises in the air. I can barely believe it. We can talk about whatever we want now. Whatever we want. So Peeps, what do you want to talk about? I'm looking at chat. I'm looking at you right now. What do you think about to use a shader? I'm not a fan of shaders. Although, I would like to use a subtle shader, I think. Like a very subtle shader. Let's talk about food. That's always nice, says Satanistic Angel. Well, I finished eating for today. Ate all my food within 7 hours. You know, trying to squeeze in some fasts as I'm cutting, so... I'm trying to do it effectively, you know. I'm going to cut for the entirety of this month. And then evaluate after that, so I want to make it nice and effective. So far it's going very well, but I actually got some new scales. I got some of these like multiple, you know, metric things that tell you about like your how much water mass you're carrying, how much fat. I can't remember how much. I could look it up on my phone. Do you want to know how much body fat I have? I also found out that apparently my physical age is 4 years younger than I am, so I was pleased with that. Let's have a look. I've forgotten what it said. Where's the app? There it is. It talks to you, this app as well, and it talks to you in a foreign voice. It's like, well, I can't do the accent. It's like Asian or something. Asian voice telling you. 13.5% body fat. And if you go lower than 10, it's potentially unhealthy. So I'm probably going to like aim for close to 10, and then try and maintain. Seems about right as well. Like, I don't know how they figure that stuff out though. Like it's like a normal scale. You step on it, but then it's also got these like little sensors in, which apparently pick up more metrics. But I have no idea how it works. But they seem to be well rated. I did try and like find some criticism or explanation, but it didn't. Electrical impedance, is that how it figures it out, War Garbler? Be nice to know how accurate and whatnot they are. Probably a scam, says Ranzilla. Well, with the amount of people that use it, it didn't seem like it. Electrical resistance. Okay, what do I... Wait, what do I... Just need one of those. Like, what am I doing? Impedance. Impedance? Let's do that. Do you have a common stream schedule? Or is it just whenever? Well, in the weekdays, it's evenings. In the weekends, it's mornings. And I tend to try and stream on the days I'm not uploading to my main channel. That's generally what I aim for. Was your tweet a joke, says Silverwolf Games? It does say, the tweet does say, that hopefully you'll look back and laugh. So, yeah, think of that maybe. You'll get it when it comes out. When episode 1000's there, you'll get it. The 2 pads send electricity through your legs on the scale. The resistance gets measured. Ah, okay. It pulls like a lot out of it. A lot of information out of it. A ton of it. Let's have a read of the noises in the ear. Can't quite remember where we got to. The Vixen, 38 for 15 months. Thank you so much. Gun, 301, gifting a sub to Region the Horn. 117, thank you ever so much, dude, for supporting our community with a gifted sub. We've got Celtic Envy subscribing, Pix1 Pro with the Amazon Prime, and Reaper27 Original. Thank you ever so much for your support, peeps. Appreciate it. 90 episodes to go, says Fishit. Yeah, 90 episodes. I've already started working on it as well. Climb says 6 to 14% is athlete. Yeah, well, I've pretty much got like an athletic body, if you like, for all the working out and whatnot I do. I'm not running at the moment, though, and I felt it a little bit, like, a week back. I just started to feel like, my breath's getting a little heavier or whatever. So I did do a bit of a run, but I haven't, like, found the steam to get back into it. And I think it's because I'm cutting at the moment. Like, this morning, it just dawned on me. I'm like, I keep sleeping for like over like 8 hours. Why is that? And then I thought, oh, why don't I like Google this? Like, so I did some Googling, and there are people like who do cutting that are saying, you know, I'm cutting and I'm sleeping more. And so the theory is that like your body has just got less fuel to work with, so you're going to sleep for longer as it repairs. And that seems like really logical as well. So I'm guessing that's why I'm sleeping longer. I'm a builder says, what kind of cutting? Cutting weight. Okay, don't confuse it with self-harm or something like that. Cutting is a term for cutting fat. Like you go into a caloric deficit, you maintain it, and you hopefully burn off body fat whilst maintaining your muscle. How much do you usually sleep for, says Geezer Pizza? Well, I do my very best to like get 8 hours, but before I was cutting, it was like I would just wake up after about 6.5 or 7, and I kind of rolled with that for a while. I was like, all right, then if I'm waking up and I feel all right, I'll go with it. But now I'm like getting 8 hours, solid 8. Yeah, the sleep. Actually, thinking about it, the sleep feels more solid as well, right? So I'm pretty sure that's just my body coping with the deficit. Colton Brymer says they can't tell body fat percent. They might not be able to tell it entirely accurately, but I mean, you know, I stepped on the scales and I would say the information I got back was pretty darn not accurate, but you know, in the right range. It didn't tell me I was obese, so you know, like it's getting some direction. How accurate it is, who knows? I'm gonna guess, you know, probably not the most accurate thing, but it's a good measurement to have. It'll help me get towards my goals, you know. How do you work out in quarantine, says Bracco? I got a home gym, and I've had a home gym for ages. It's actually, you know, I've never really gone to the gym. I have been to the gym, but like never consistently. It's just as I was getting into it, I just started small. I brought myself a bench and some barbells. Well, I had a barbell with a bench, like dumbbells, and you know, just use some basic equipment for ages. And then over time, as I got more into it, it was like, oh, get resistance bands, and oh, I'm gonna buy, you know, an EZ curl bar, and like slowly built up some equipment, and then eventually I very recently bought like a proper multi-gym thing as well for like leg press and pull downs and all sorts. Right, we've got noises in the ear from Reaper27 Original. Pix1 Pro, I think we read that one out already, but thank you again. Chewy Duck is here with a donation, but no message. Thank you ever so much, dude. Appreciate your support. Best Chuds in chat says can't be skipping leg day. Dude, legs are my favourite to work out. It's so straightforward, and like you get such a I get such a good response. Like if you're into it, don't neglect your lower body. You can get like some seriously good work done on your legs, nice and easy. Saving for a home gym costs a lot of money. You can get a rope and do a lot of things with that. Yeah, getting a multi-gym like I got, that's a big investment. But I would say getting your own home equipment, like it was real cheap. It was like 100 quid for a bench, some dumbbells, and like already you've covered like some serious ground with movements and parts of your body you can work out just for like that much. If you think about how much a gym membership costs, you know, yeah, there's more equipment at the gym, but you'll spend that gym membership money, like, you know, it'll add up over the course of a year. The big question then is deadlift leg day or back day, says Barack. It's both. It's the posterior chain. But, you know, if you do workouts by body part, I've tried doing that in the past. I respond to mixing everything up, just over the course of a week, hit everything. If I were doing more intense training, which I'm not at the moment, it's like hit things twice as well, like depending on what your goals are. But I don't really think splitting by body part by day is the most effective way to do it. But I don't do deadlifts. Like every time I start doing deadlifts, I get back pains. So I kind of like, you know, every now and then maybe I'll do some like really light ones, but it just doesn't feel worth it to take a risk like that. Pong says, do you do protein shakes? Yeah, but not... Wait, what have I come up here for? Full inventory. Not like a gotta have my protein shake type thing. It's like, it's a supplement. So every meal I aim for a certain amount of protein, and I calorie count, and I put in my macros, and so I know what I'm eating. Like every meal I eat 40 grams of protein, right? And so, hey, we've got good times to Scar in chat saying, do you ever swim? I haven't swum in like 20 years. It is almost criminal how long I haven't swum for. And every time I make plans to go swimming, something happens. And, oh my god, I really want to go swimming again. I used to swim a lot when I was a kid, and I loved it. Used to be part of a swimming team and all that gala. But yeah, like, you know, protein shakes, they're supplemental. So the only thing that I do consistently is have some casein at the end of the day, because it's a slow digesting protein. And the idea is that it's your last meal of the day, you go to bed not long after it, and that stuff can be used overnight. You know, everyone's saying hi to Scar in chat. Yeah, glad to have you with us, Scar. I know you love your cats. I met a wonderful little kitty cat today. On a walked past it. It didn't jump away from me, so I said hello. Oh, they're so adorable. They're so adorable. And Scar, let's pivot the conversation here a little bit to the Joe Rogan podcast with Scar says it's low impact on the body. Yeah, it is. You know, I've heard that a gazillion times. Great for your joints, and like one of the best, healthiest exercises. Good for your lungs. But yeah, like the Joe Rogan podcast, I listened to that one with Elon Musk. Person of interest. Alright, I know why I flew over there now. See, I can't do anything on a stream. I start waffling, and I forget why I even move from one place to the other. One of the things I did want to get around to talking to, and so Scar, I know you watched that, and it'd be interesting to see your thoughts on it. Overall, it was a good podcast, but man, I did not particularly enjoy the tone of conversation around COVID. And I've been trying to think about like what they're saying and what I would say in response to something like that. So to all you out there, let's not get like too dragged into a a kind of big deal about it, but essentially on the podcast they were kind of downplaying the reaction to government's decisions to lock down and whatnot, and you know, having an open conversation. They're saying why to some extent, but what bugged me is that these are like two smart guys and they're not thinking about something really important about the current situation that's going on. Is that, like, whatever happens, right, numbers, statistics of deaths, did we do the right thing or not, they're playing this angle of like, it's not as bad as people think. They're using anecdotal evidence about, well, I don't know anyone who's died, which, you know, anecdotal evidence is not great. Whatever, you know, like, if the scientists have come out and they've said this can be really bad, we need to do something about it, and then we do something about it and it isn't as bad as they said, we're forgetting that that's because we did something about it. And it seems really crazy that that didn't come up. You know, they're two bright guys, especially Elon, of course. People call him a genius. It's like, how do you not see that it's hard to criticize a lockdown and the numbers that are happening when like, you know, you don't have a parallel situation to compare it to where we didn't do lockdown. The numbers that the scientists gave us, and remember there's lots of different groups in different countries giving different numbers to different countries, you know. It's not all the same. It's lots of different people figuring out based on what bodies of work they know, right? The you know, the numbers were given for if we didn't do anything. And we've done something. There's been a global response. And so if you're going to criticize the response because the numbers are low, it's like a hindsight problem. It's like, well, yeah, because we did something, you know, we acted. So I don't feel like it's time to criticize, maybe. I mean, I'm starting to feel like some of my own government's actions could be criticized, like lifting the lockdown too soon. But, you know, the point is we're really not going to have a clear picture of everything until a long time after this is over. Do you know how long it took them to figure out what happened in the 1918 influenza pandemic? Like, there were still studies and estimates being done, you know, almost 100 years later, where they're reevaluating and figuring out what's going on. So it's going to be a long time before we have a clear picture, and I think for that reason it is best to get behind the science and what we are being told on that front. It really is. And so I kind of got a little bit annoyed with them. I was like, come on, like, you guys surely know better than this. Anyway, that's my little rant over. So I'll hand it over to all of y'all. I really don't get people's resistance to wearing masks in public, says GD Bats. I don't either, because I'm happy to wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, then, you know, I need to hear someone explain why before I really put my words in their mouth, right, so to speak. Maxim says, pretty sure Elon has this opinion because of economic merit. Yeah, he also said something else really stupid that kind of like rattled me a bit for supposedly such a smart guy when talking about universal basic income and economics. He was saying like it doesn't work because people have to make stuff. So if people are just given money and they don't make stuff, right, then it doesn't make sense. When you explain it like that, it kind of sounds reasonable. Oh yeah, people not making stuff, then no one's going to buy it. But like, what's being left out of focus there is that over time, as technology has progressed, the workforce has become incredibly more productive. We now produce massive amounts of wealth and abundance that the few can provide for the many. Especially if you think in terms of necessities. I mean, you know, here I am playing computer games for a living. Couldn't have done that 100 years ago. You know, like, it's because of all the abundance we are creating and how much more productive we are getting as individuals in the workforce over time. There are measures of this. There are studies and, you know, numbers that have been crunched and things have been figured out. Yeah, just two points that kind of like annoyed me a bit, I guess. Alright, we've run out of black wool, haven't we? That's why I keep coming over here looking for more, and there isn't much of it about. Anyway, Scar, if you wanted to share any thoughts, I'm just going to open up Discord, but if not, I can understand. There is a lot of discussion in chat as well. Anyway, I'll have my Discord open if you wanted to wage in. X, would you wear your screen mask if you had to wear a mask in public? When I go out, I put on this like makeshift mask thing or whatever. Like, I've hardly been out at all. When I go shopping, that is. When I go out for a walk, I don't, because I'm not even like near people most of the time. But then someone comes by and doesn't want to get out of the way. I like literally walk into the middle of the road now. I just make it incredibly clear that I'm socially distancing. Like, try and remind people, not just get out of the way. Just be like, hey, take this seriously, without, you know, without saying that. Just be someone in their presence who is taking it seriously. That's my attitude. X, do you have a public Discord? I do not. I have a private Discord. And I now need yellow. I want to put a little bit of yellow there. You know, like, I want to be efficient when I'm down here. I want to get stuff done. But, my goodness me, we're getting a lot of zombie pigmen. Also, we got, like, visitors. Hang on. I can't attack them because I'll attack the zombie pigmen. What's going on? Let's get out of here. Oh, jeez. No, go up. Whew. That's right. Get burned, suckers. Yeah, they got, like, a little dark patch somewhere, haven't they? Maybe a cave they're coming out of. I'm trying to figure out how to wear a mask with glasses. They fog up. Ah, yeah. That's the thing, I guess. They do fog up, don't they? Elon Musk is the Kanye West of the business world. People call him crazy and eccentric and genius. Yeah, I can see a parallel there. I like him overall. I like both Rogan and Musk, but I just got, you know, a little bit frustrated with their approach to that topic. I felt like surely they would understand this stuff a bit better, you know. Do you have a Discord server? Didn't I just answer that? I don't. I mean, I do. It's just not public, right? It's for my Twitch subs and patrons. Oh, look, we're missing a bit up here as well. An important bit. How much glass have we got through for one layer? I need to estimate how much this is going to cost at some point. If your mask fits your glasses, it doesn't fit well enough, says Badger. From what I understand, with the masks, it's a preventative measure to prevent you from spreading it to someone else. The surgical medical masks are there to prevent people who have people who have it from so what is the deal? Surgical masks prevent people who have it from spreading. No, wait, I'm getting this so wrong in my head. Yeah, the surgical masks prevent you from getting it. I think the idea is they give it to people that have got it so that you don't get a bigger dose, right? So anyway, the idea is that you wear the mask and you're less likely to spread it to other people. And the thing is, homemade, just makeshift masks have a percentage of effectiveness. How big that percentage is, you'll probably see some differing numbers, but supposedly it's worth doing instead of not, right? So by wearing masks, we can, if we are carrying without symptoms, we can reduce the risk of passing it on to someone else. So it's a pretty like simple activity to wear a mask, right? As well as these other measures we can take. Right, I got a message on Discord. Maybe Scar isn't even here anymore. Are you not bothered by Elon's hatred of unions and misrepresentations of his workers, says Legendary Epic. I don't know too much about it in detail, but from his book it's pretty clear that like he treats workers like pretty harsh at times. I don't know really because I haven't like gotten too into that, but I'm guessing I'm probably not going to be too in favour of it. But you know, like you balance it out because he's also doing these amazing things like this vision to go to Mars and to try and get the planet onto electric vehicles and whatnot. He's just a fascinating individual, really. I think there's more reasons to like people half the time than to get hung up on particular details. And I know, like, to some people, these things are like really important. And I think if people think it's that important and they're that passionate about it and they go out there and do something, those are the people that should probably be like talking about it, right? Like, maybe not me, because I don't really know where I would stand on that issue, you know. Okay, right, now we've got a way to get over there. We're gonna go test this out. So I think what I need to do next is probably just focus on prepping the entire thing and not really worrying about just doing one section, because it's kind of slow going back and forth. That's done. Like, that's all you need right there. I can kind of see the bottom, but it takes away the stone. So we'll probably go with... That's crazy looking. I actually don't think it looks that great. I think his scale uses connected textures, right? It looks good when you're looking at the middle, but when you see this like edge stuff, it's not so great. But that, I like that. We'll do that for the whole thing. It's pretty cool. You missed some glass. Yeah, I think there was one block. I was aware of that. Or maybe somewhere else? Badger says I can never get that effect to work. Maybe your graphics are on fast. That might be a way it might not work. Just the last two blocks apparently I missed. Well, we can get into here. Yeah, the very last two. So then at the bottom I could put honey. I think I'm going to put yellow terracotta down here. Or maybe orange concrete. Could be a bit of a grind. I mean, you're not really going to see what's at the bottom. It just matters what colour it is, right? So orange and yellow, pretty similar. Not going to make much of a big difference. You know what? Orange terracotta is actually pretty orange, so we'll probably go with that. We'll probably go with that. Make it glowstone. Make it a light source. Interesting idea. Very interesting. We'll have to wait for night time. Okay, let's not put in the bottom material then, but we know what level we're digging to. So now I think it's all about the dig. We're going to clear out our inventory so we can just dig and not really worry too much. One thing I do know is that I'm short on cobblestone, believe it or not. The cobblestone shop needs stocking up and I need to keep my cobblestone supply rolling in. So we're going to grab Be Lucky. We're going to get down there and hopefully be lucky ourselves and find some diamonds. Oh, wait a minute. We're not that low in the world. Jeez. Jeez. Alright, noises in the ear. Where are we at? Randy Nicole gifted a sub to Good Times to Scar. Thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate it. We had Jasper Likes Frogs gifting a sub to Joe Dragon. Appreciate you supporting our community. Exilor is here. We also got H2 Faustius with, probably butchering that name by the way, with the cheers on the bit saying, Hex, just letting you know, Cub brought out a whole, like the whole honey shop. Not sure if you've restocked. Loving the build. Yeah, I've restocked. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm on top of that. Okay, so we're coming down to this level here, right? Listen to that beautiful music. I love these songs so much. They're great. Beautiful soundtrack. It sounds really three-dimensional, this song. Like the stereo or something is doing something crazy. Hang on a minute, I'm supposed to be using the old cobble getter over here. Cobble getter, that sounds weird. Ah, I think I know where those mobs might have come from. I think I might know. We got a noise in the ear from Viking Dog for 8 months. DJ Floodanada. I like that username right there. We're going to need some sticks, some stickety sticks. Where they at? Where they at, homie? Oh! Jeez. Let's grab a few of those. And a few of these. Make some of those, put them back in here. Cool, and more noises. Quantum Boss for 3 months. Oh, we also have Scar on Discord. Oh, I'm going to read that in a minute, Scar. Thank you. Cerician with the Prime. Hexy Wexy with the Prime. KVZ14 with the Prime. SQ Johnson with the Prime. So many Primes. We've got cheers and bits from Odin Dreads saying masks are also like tying a string around your finger. Tying a string around your finger, yeah. Keeps you conscious of being cautious. Yeah, that's a very good point. There's a psychological element in there as well, isn't there? The Lon One Usk Monk. Thank you for that lovely message, dude. I saw that. Striker 537 for 15 months. G-Stab for 51. Saying, woo, 15 months. That's like almost a year. 15? Wait, you 51? You got it the wrong way around, dude. Thank you so much. Bravity M with the cheers and bits saying lava would be an interesting orange light source with the animated texture. May look cool. Well, the texture will be pretty much out of sight. We'll get the gist of the colour. I do agree it would look cool. I'd probably end up wanting to put a lava source block everywhere, and that would probably end up being a pain in the bum. So it ain't gonna happen, but I appreciate the suggestion. Man, there's so many pigmen. Like, this is also a gold farm if I hang out in the area, basically, isn't it? We're so gonna have to set up a trap for this. Okay, let's get in here and light this up. That's where they are. That's where they are. There's so many pigmen. There's so many, it's amazing. Berryman D with the cheers, with those bits, saying, what is the name of the new software you are running to speed up the server? Go to my latest episode of Hermitcraft. You will find links in the description. In the description box. Yes. Okay, cool. So we should probably go do that area where we haven't built the black wall down just yet, just so that's also covered. I'm a bit fearful of all these pigmen. I feel like I'm going to hit them. But yeah. It's interesting how they come down here as well, through those holes. Anyway, so Scar, I got Scar on Discord. Scar's hanging out with us today. Saying, if a surgical mask fits and it's worn properly, it's about 25% effective, but it's more to prevent you from spreading it. So is it 25% effective at stopping you getting it? Because stopping spreading it is also really important. We have to care about one another in this in these times, and you don't want to be someone who spreads it to someone else. Now, there is, you know, a type of attitude out there where people might think, hey, it's not my problem, and oh, what do I care, I'm young, fit and healthy and all that kind of stuff, COVID ain't gonna get me. It's alright to think that, but just think, you know, someone who could get it from you, like a family member, like imagine the guilt. I'd hate to pass it on to someone else, you know, by being reckless. So for me, it's like, take all the precautions and you know, do the best you can, because you don't want to pass it on to someone else, you know. And even just thinking of like you know, a family member, you know, every faceless person, every person you pass on the street, you know, you might pass it on to if you had it and you're asymptomatic. They're people with families too, and loved ones, and so, you know, that's the way I look at it. The research on the effect of them are actually decades ago. They need new studies to see if they really work or not. I think Elon and Rogan see this more from an economic perspective. Rogan can't do his comedy, and Elon's factors are shut down. So his biases are to reopen the factories, so he finds statistics to justify it. What they need is a counter opinion. I hope Rogan has counter opinion. Guest soon. I would really like that. Yeah, that would be a smart thing for Rogan to do. And he's done that in the past, to be fair, and I hope he can do that again. I always, you know, if you've watched my streams enough, we'll talk about something at some point, and I might say, you know, I'd rather have someone who disagreed with me right now, just so I can get a feel for, like, what is the other side or opinion about. But yeah, I can totally get that their economic situation may be influencing their opinions. I think it would be totally fair, though, to be transparent about that. Like, I can totally empathise if, you know, this situation's affecting you really negatively. It can lead you to start to think, hang on a minute, like, there are other bad consequences of this, and indeed there are. Economic consequences could be drastic too. I just think the transparency is important, so we can like really like understand, you know, and like let's be informed by what we can determine to be factual as opposed to our feelings about a situation, right? You know, there was a bit at the end of their podcast that I found fascinating as well. They started to talk about other forms of things that kill people, right? Like smoking or people drowning in swimming pools. And I think they were both trying to use it to sort of justify that, well, you know, COVID's just one of these things of many that could kill you. The thing is, you know, without action, the science came out and said that, you know, we could be looking at very large numbers of death without action. So that's why we needed to have taken action. So now we're seeing less. But, you know, if you were to hold it up against other things, I was thinking it just makes you reevaluate stuff a little bit. Like, maybe we'll move on from this and treat things like the flu differently. Or maybe we should, like, look at other activities we engage in differently as well. Especially stuff like smoking. You know, think, if you're a smoker and you've been on board with all of this lockdown and social distancing, and then after it's all been said and done, we find out that you were more likely to die of smoking than COVID during this situation. Would that make you reevaluate your habit of smoking, for example? So what I would take away from thinking about that is just how emotional it all is, right? How emotionally led we are, and how our narrow perspectives on things don't kind of weigh up. We have to deal with this statistical information to try and, you know, figure everything out. And it can be seen from so many different angles. Masks only work for around 20 minutes. It has been proven even the stronger ones, they predominantly used as a guard against coughing and sneezing. Some surgeons will not wear masks during their surgeries because they just don't work. I can't really comment on that because I've heard contrary information about wearing masks. Comparing COVID to smoking or cancer deaths is apples to oranges. You can't catch smoking. Alright, yeah, no, I'm not trying to... I think maybe my point didn't make sense to you there, okay? You know, let's say death is the final outcome. That's what we're comparing. Like, we have very, like, emotional perspective driven understandings of things. That's kind of like our basic, like, operation for thinking. You know, we use our feelings to navigate as opposed to statistical information. So what I was proposing is that you could be doing something in your life that puts you at a greater risk of death than you realize, right? So there is a hysteria around what's going on at the moment. There is an emotional reaction. We are all in this moment going through this together. And there have been things in the past that we don't get emotional about that have been devastating. Like the amount of people that die of heart disease every year. It's one of the leading killers, right? Yet, you know, some people respond really badly to what I'm about to say, and I don't mean to say it in a way that goes in that direction, but for example, someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson will tweet out that you're more likely to die of heart disease than you are when there's than a terrorist when there's a terror attack. And a terror attack has the emotional appeal. We understand that what's happening is horrific and it's scary, and the idea that someone out there could want to perform a terror attack. But if you look at it from a statistical point of view, you will see that the difference between dying of heart disease or terrorism is like vastly different. It's like one's minuscule and one's way more common. And so what I was trying to say about the smoking thing is just like, you can be in this moment right here having all these emotions and thoughts about everything that's going on, yet it's not a statistical perspective. It's not an actual perspective of reality, right? So the idea being, you know, let's pick something a little bit more dark, okay? Actually, I really don't want to use that as an example. I think it's probably dark, whatever I try and pick, right? But let's just imagine that someone likes to smoke TNT. Someone likes to play Russian roulette. There we go. I got an example that I think is fair. Someone enjoys playing Russian roulette, okay? Right? This person who enjoys playing Russian roulette is panicking and worrying about COVID, yet they play Russian roulette every day. Okay? Smoke TNT. I was trying to think of something more severe than smoking cigarettes. Okay? Without it sounding a bit too morbid. I was trying to be comical, right? So, what I'm trying to say is that, like, we don't have the statistical look at everything that's going on, like the actual statistical interpretation of reality. We have an emotional experience with it. So, you know, I don't know if it's true of smoking, but let's just say we make up the statistic that it is. You're more likely to die of smoking cigarettes than COVID in this current situation. Like, that's the point I'm making about how we respond to all of this, is that so much of it is emotional, and we need to make decisions, I believe, based on statistical data more. And so the statistical data is very difficult to deal with at the moment because it's coming in, it will take a long time to make sense of the current situation. And so, you know, it could be that, you know, smoking is worse for you during this time. It just, I don't know if that makes sense to all of you, but that's like what I'm trying to get across, you know. That's what I'm trying to get across. Smoking TNT sounds like something from a cartoon. It really does, doesn't it? As a statistician, I wholeheartedly agree, says Emberlyn. Betch says, guys, no one actually plays Russian roulette every day. That's not the point of the argument. Yeah, it's not the point at all. You know, I was going to say something like, you know, using a particular type of drug, and then I thought, that's pretty morbid, you know. That it's very spiritual. Some people's habits are attacked by the measures, and they question their identity, just like climate change. Yeah, I'm not. Anything I say here is not trying to attack anyone at all. Like, it's all food for thought. I don't harbor any like hate or bigotry or anything like that. It's always just like an open discussion in my mind. And hey, you know, maybe I'll say something that I don't realise is insensitive in some way. You know, you can always be educated on that front as well. Like, that's why I'm up for listening. I'm literally like looking at chat, waiting for someone who disagrees right now, just so I can like think about it from a different angle. I think the point is people will wear a mask yet continue to smoke. Well, I wasn't trying to mix smoking and wearing masks, but yeah, if you're a smoker, you're going to take the mask off for a bit. But if you're not around anyone, you can take the mask off for a bit anyway. So, you know. There's a book called The Undoing Project about behavioural psychology that talks about how humans don't make decisions based on statistics but on emotion. Yeah, I've read a lot of stuff like that. That's kind of my my bread and butter for the kind of books I like to listen and read about, right? Learning about the shortcomings or sort of the human experience and how it's framed emotionally or driven emotionally as compared to like actually being rooted in reality. You shouldn't touch the mask, keep it on or keep it off, not both, says Sam Pie. I don't know too much about that. I'm talking, what I know about masks generally relates to like cheap homemade ones, you know, get a bit of fabric and wrap it around your face, use a scarf, that kind of thing, right? The idea is that it's better than not doing it to some extent. I have heard people say you need to wash them every single day as well. Smoking is a choice and it has been regulated. And then COVID is transmitted, so you can't see it. Yeah, I understand that, you know, like a terrorist attack has nothing to do with smoking or heart disease either, right? But you can look at it and go, you're fearful of a terrorist attack, yet you're more likely to die of other things that you're not fearful of. All right. And as I said, I completely understand why people are afraid of terrorism. Like, there is an emotional aspect to that. That's why it's called terrorism, and that's why people are scared of it. It's just the statistical way of looking at things is interesting too. And you know, whatever works for you as well, however you want to go about it. For me, I tend to find comfort in looking at things through statistics. So that kind of works for me. Again, maybe my interest in trying to not be emotional is emotional. Oh, this is a rabbit hole. Let's see if did Scar shoot us another message. On the other point about Elon, he was really misrepresented about the BIPAPs he received to the California New York hospital. Technically speaking, a BIPAP is a non-invasive ventilator, and being hospital-grade BIPAP, it can be modified to invasive ventilator. It's an off-label use, but it can work. I have personally used off-label BIPAP as a ventilator in the past. The hospitals who received them thanked him and are using them on patients. Either suffers from clickbait journalism. They know if they use his name, they're going to get extra clicks on that story. I disagree with him on his COVID opinions, but he was correct about the BIPAPs. Yeah, I caught wind of that, didn't dive deep into it because once I saw the criticism, it just smelled of it. It smelled so much of that, like, just trying to, like, you know, get your attention by being outraged about something. When media or like some news article or something I'm like reading on Reddit is probably my most likely place to encounter something like that, is framed in the form of that, I tend to just naturally now kind of go, I don't need to know if this is true or not, because that tone of reporting just seems to be so fraught with you know, clickbait manipulation. So yeah, when I saw the whole ventilator thing around Elon Musk, I was just like, I don't care what they're saying. Like, I really don't. You know, because it just reeked of it. I could have been wrong, you know, but it reeked of it. Just reeked of that. Make a Pigmen farm for a little extra gold, says Simplex Twitch. We are absolutely going to do that, man. I mean, it's almost making itself over here, right? Like, you know, I might. There's a good significance of me dying this stream because I could accidentally hit one of these suckers, you know? I get hit right in the face. With my lyrical mace. Oh, I'm a rapper. Okay. Darth and Ilis, thanks for tuning in, dude. Appreciate you coming by today. Let's have a look. Right, so we got Overworlds with the Prime. We got Jetmaster97. I am Zion, the Zodiac Wolf for Cheers and Bits, saying, don't know if this would be a good idea, but what if you use the Pigmen as the temporary workers in the warehouse in the shopping district? You know, they'd wander around and end up in a corner, and nice idea, but when you use mobs, like, because they don't stick in a place, they end up just getting into trouble, you know. Soref Zots Sophie has subscribed. Carter Neal, Mew26061 for 2 months, and Deb Constructor gifting the sub to the Flying Dutchman. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate your support. We got Anonymous, spelt differently, I noticed, with a donation saying people also need to realise that COVID lockdown also causes issues, especially mental. As a person with depression and anxiety, it's really difficult to deal with the lockdown without a possible reset by outside. It can vary from mild to extreme symptoms. Absolutely, I understand that, dude. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate it. You know, it's a very difficult thing. There's all these factors that need to be considered and added up, right? And that's why I'm so much more in the favour of like transparent and open discussion, rather than this like dig your heels in, this is the way it should be done sort of attitude. And I can understand what you're saying about like mental health, but you know, how would we want to do it? Let's say like going back to statistics, let's say we've got like this extraordinary ability to all of a sudden understand many of the metrics and variables out there, like we can even factor in people's mental health all of a sudden, then we'd have to sort of derive some sort of equation where we drop value on like death and mental health and quality of living and living standards, like, and wouldn't that just be like the messiest thing ever to have to figure out? It's so crazy. I don't even have like an answer or like a, you know, we should value this thing or that thing. It's the same with the economy as well. I understand like how, you know, there are all sorts of factors that change the quality of people's lives, even just cultural stuff, you know. Everything has an impact, right? But I think the act of people dying to a horrible disease is like what we gravitate to being the most serious, which is why we probably take this course of action. Harm says, I like how you voice your opinion, but you're also taking other ideas instead of shooting someone down and saying they're wrong. Yeah, I don't like to do that. I like to understand what someone else thinks Because everyone's got a different life experience and a different story, and it's better to like learn from other people's thoughts than it is to, you know, just dig your heels in. I've certainly held like opinions and thought that way in the past as well, you know, and I just ended up like not liking it. I was like, kind of realised it's not helping anything. Where is your beacon? How do you have haste? Says Zaid. It's right there. It's literally right there, dude. Okay, I think I might just plop down a chest so I don't keep running around looking for ye old, what's it called again? Ye old shulker box. That's what they call it, isn't it? Oh look, we're full on coal blocks, are we? Well then, I will shuffle some things around. Oh, I'm out of wait, my emeralds are over. Why is this all kerfuffled? Get unkerfuffled, right. What's going on here? Diamonds! We got them. I actually have all of a sudden managed to accumulate some diamond blocks. It's crazy. I kind of want to hold on to them now. Da-na-na. Love that bit. Hey X, what are your opinions about space travel and the new space race for the moon on Mars? I'm curious. I'm interested in it. I used to think it was stupid to like want to go to Mars, right? Here's the thing again, right? Used to think it was silly. You know, we've got problems here to figure out, but then take the time to listen to people arguing the different. You don't have to agree. Just if you take the time to understand, then you'll see what people are arguing about. So the idea with going to Mars is that it can provide us, the act of trying to do something so ambitious could provide us with technology that we can't even think of uses for yet, right? And to compare that historically, like, we have so many great technologies that came from going to the moon, right? But we didn't go to the moon to get those technologies that have enriched our lives. Things like GPS, right? Think how much you use that now these days when you go drive somewhere in your car, and you know, like, good things can come of this strive to do something so difficult. But also, thinking long term, we may need to occupy a second planet, and I used to harbour this very kind of like we're like a virus on the planet, we're just consuming resources and ruining the earth sort of perspective. And then slowly over time I've started to understand that it's kind of like a natural force technology. It's like a part of evolution. We are just going to consume and expand, and our knowledge is going to expand. We're going to you know, develop new technology, and who's to say if that, you know, is wrong or right? I'm not really sure there is a wrong or right to it. So yeah, now I see it like as a force, right? That we're just going to go in that direction. We're just going to consume more and more. There's going to be more of us. We're going to get more advanced with our technologies, and we're going to need more resources. And it's just like humanity's direction almost, part of the evolution. And so now I can see like why we would want to go to Mars, and it makes me find the whole thing more interesting, because in the past I would have been like, going to Mars, it's stupid, like I'm not going to watch Elon launch his rockets. But now I actually like tune in on occasion and go, oh, that's pretty cool. You know the pigs are annoying. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Wait, we got to make a thumbnail. I'm going to turn it down just because it was like when we were at the Pigmen farm. Hi, get in a photo. Get in a photo. Okay, that was a great photo moment right there. You know, the Pigmen were there, I was here, we took a photo, it was amazing. It was amazing. I also want this gravel. Okay. I want this gravel. I've got to remember that I'm not, in a mushroom biome. Because usually I just, you know, I'm over on the mushroom island, don't need to light anything up, do you? Don't need to light a thing up, but we do need to collect all the gravel, and we need to put torches behind us. So we've got noises in the ear. We got Odin's Dreads with more cheers and bits saying, it's like being afraid of a plane crash when you're more likely to die in a car crash. Yeah. So if you're afraid of flying over fear of death, yet you get into a car every day, you know, statistically speaking, more likely to die, you know. Oh, so morbid, this discussion. Let's get some good statistics, right? You're not happy enough about this cool thing that could happen to you today, okay? You should be more happy about it, alright? Stop being happy about that other thing. There's only a 10% chance of that happening. Jeez. Right. Rightio. Where are we? We've got a few more here. Very Fine Scow is here with some cheers and bits, saying, I love that you do your best to be reasonable and objective, but I actually disagree with you on a few points. And by the way, that is perfectly fine to disagree. And I have such a strong desire to discuss things with people like you who don't share my same opinion. I share that same desire. That's why I go and like try and listen to people with different opinions. I would love if there was something like a Discord channel where we could discuss things more effectively, so we could hear more perspectives on a topic. This is the first time I've ever spent money on Twitch, and I feel very strongly about this. Lol. Well, one thing I would say is that I don't particularly like doing these sorts of discussions or listening or whatever over like things like Twitter or chat channels. I feel like you lose a lot. There's a lot that's important about voice and about being able to effectively communicate with words that you're speaking as opposed to words that you're typing. A lot of like Twitter discussions that I've engaged with have just been like total dead ends, you know. They just don't have it. And so as for like I have a Discord server, but you know, I kind of got my flow, and I'm not looking to like sit in a chat room at any point in my day and spend time doing that. It's just I got other things that I get on with, you know. And so while I'm like making my videos or exercising, cooking, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm taking in some podcasts, learning about stuff, listening to things. And then it just comes out of me when I'm here streaming, you know. That's just my process. But it would be nice, you know, to be able to chat. But thank you so much for the lovely message and the cheers and bits. Argent Silverworth is here with a subscription. Thank you ever so much, dude. We've got Alex Soy 11. We also got Squid Noogie for 12 months. And Gritmonger is here with cheers and bits, saying emotion is useful to determine moral weight. If you don't love anything, then there is no incentive to see anything from anyone else's perspective but your own. The dissident for emotion is used to blunt the idea of thinking of anyone else's point of view. That is something I got to mull over and digest. Emotion is used to determine moral weight. If you don't love anything, then there's no incentive to see anything from anyone else's perspective of your own. My desire to see things from other people's perspective is probably from like a love of learning and understanding. Let me read that again. So, if you don't love anything, I mean, it's easy to think of love and people, but maybe not so much like love and objects or ideas. Then there is no incentive to see anything from anyone else's perspective. The dissident for emotion, or the disdain, sorry, getting that wrong, is used to blunt the idea of thinking of anyone else's point of view. Yeah, so when I talk about like the emotional perspective, I'm not particularly trying to blunt anyone else's point of view. It's just that I've read a lot of books and audiobooks about human perspective and the shortcomings of relying on your own intuitions. And some of this stuff can be really well explained through just simple examples and questions that show that the brain is not a perfect process, and that digesting reality, interpreting your senses, like there can be built-in fallacies and illusions. And so I guess maybe like using the word emotion is like a crux to all of that. It's like saying, hey, remember, you know, as a human, you're flawed and you're very capable of misunderstanding and misinterpreting things. And especially when we talk about the statistical stuff, like I'm not talking about emotions to blunt someone's opinion with a different view. It's more to just sort of show the two sides of the coin, I guess. Anyway, but very interesting that. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Ride the lightning. Ring any bells? I thought you were going to say lied the lightning. Lied the lightning. Who remembers that? That's some real old school right there. How the heck are you avoiding them, says Arak. If you hold down click on a block and then swing it about, which I'll do right now, you're not going to hit them, right? I'm holding down click, but I'm only going to interact with the blocks because I'm holding down click. That was introduced by Dinnerbone back in, I believe, Season 1 of Hermitcraft. Bit of a mental reference there, just I kind of remember that era, and that was when that little clever change got introduced. Emotions come from selfishness, says this is Anam. I don't know about that. I mean, emotion is like in you all the time. I don't think it's selfishness. It's your. I think emotion is just, you know, part of evolution. It's a function of survival. It's a way for your like experience to be manipulated to do the things that keep you alive. I'm guessing. It's weird that like consciousness emerged from like an arrangement of atoms, and then part of the conscious experience is to experience emotions that manipulate the survival instinct. So if you think about like things that survive that you may not consider to be conscious, like they're driven to do things to survive, but they may not be emotionally manipulated to do so, yet through, I mean, are emotions and consciousness directly tied together? Maybe not. But through having emotion, you're like manipulated to do things that keep you alive. It's weird. It's really weird. Our last glimpse is a real Pigmen before the change. Yeah, that's true. They're a changing. They're going through changes. Oh. Consciousness and perspective are such fascinating topics, says Haven Leah. I agree. But emotion, you cannot take care for your offspring. Yeah. I get that. It's a very emotional. I mean, yeah, I was watching something, and there was like an abandoned baby, and I was just like, you could hear the cry of the baby, and I was just thinking about how if you heard that, you would just have to care for this baby, right? And that's emotional. That's like being emotionally manipulated. But yeah, like the sound of a crying baby, and like you find this baby, and like it's, you know, no one else is around. It's just been abandoned. Like you would have to care for it. It's just like built into you. That you know. Yeah, an adult hurt and injured, some people might walk away from. I don't know. Depends what environment, the situation, right? I think it was in some like, I think it was in the Last Kingdom or like some sort of like Viking like show. There was some like baby crying and it was abandoned. We have probably gotten so far because we work together in ways that most animals don't, says the Bananana. I couldn't agree more with you there. And do you know what saddens me when you encounter the viewpoint of like, we're warring creatures, we've always fought and fight, and it's what we do, and it's why we're divided, and you know, this group of people, that group of people, and I'm thinking, it's easy to look at it that way, but you know, like, oh my god, look at the amount of stuff that happens based on cooperation. Look at everyone cooperating right now, you know. Did you invent that phone? Did you invent that screen? Where did that come from? Did people work together to make it happen? Did people work together to make the home you're sitting in? The clothes you're wearing? Everything. You are surrounded by cooperation of people working together. I wish we could realise that more. I wish we could realise that more. The real Wizzy guy says babies are more seductive than adults. This is part of their adaptation because they are young. Yeah, it's such a fascinating thing to like think of though. Like, you see it in all animals, right? All baby animals, should I say? You know, like a baby cat, you know, a puppy, a kitten. They've got this just natural, like, nurture me look about them. It's so fascinating, like the mechanics of cuteness or childness or whatever, like baked into existence all over. Not just us humans. It's in all little baby animals, right? You see a little baby kitten abandoned. What are you going to do? Leave it there? No, you're going to pick it up and care for it. Because it's helpless and cute and adorable. It's like, it's built in. Only in a species that is necessary for survival. So, would you say there are... Oh, hang on, so I'm going to cough. Things that are babies that maybe are ugly and they happen to be self-sufficient at birth. That would be interesting. What self-sufficient at birth creatures are there that aren't cute? I mean, aren't deers born able to run? But like, deers have a cuteness when they're babies, right? Spiders, says Patanox. I would put spiders. Yeah, spiders and insects. Problem is though that they're so small that we don't really see their faces, right? So I think things like insects, bugs, and spiders, they're kind of like on a lower scale, like ants, right? Sharks, says Brandon. I bet you a baby shark would have some cuteness, though. Snakes? Yeah, maybe we should, like, factor in size here a little bit as well. Bacteria, yeah. So the lower down you go, the less relatable it is, right? Hornets? Again, bees, I think, just too small. Babies and little kids are helpless, so you have to step in and help them, at least if you have a heart. I've rescued many animals, from kittens, birds, to snakes. Well, thank you for rescuing them, that's awesome. Adam says, baby humans are not that great at looking when they first... Oh, I missed the rest of that. Do you mean when they're very first born? Yeah, they can have a bit of like a scrunchy face, right? But they cuten up pretty quick. Adam, if you want to edit anything from today's stream, I'll put it in the folder. I ain't taken notes. I've just been waffling. I've been in very talky mode as of late, but not very like structured. Like sometimes I'll just come to the stream knowing I'm going to talk about something and I'll make a note, but not as of today. Looks like we're going to have to throw torches down and around the outside here again, because all of this needs doing. Oh! Jeez! Wait, don't use your sword because there's zombie pigmen everywhere. Okay, I used it anyway. I rescued a baby rabbit. Oh, baby rabbit. I bet that's cute. They're cute. They're just cute anyway, like. Jeez, baby rabbit. Cuteness is good for survival. Worms. Yeah, when you're like bugs, insects, and all that kind of stuff, it's not very relatable, right? A different scale of existence. Okay, I guess this bit next. It's a bit two-tiered here, isn't it? It actually kind of opens up into the jungle in a way. This is such an amazing song, the Alpha song. Right, and I think that'll be the last of the digging. The diggity digging, you know? Now we've got to be piggity placing the piggity blocks. The biggity blocks, jeez. Right, and we won't have any wall blocks. Or will we now? In you go, come on. Don't be shy. So, let's go get some wall blocks. Oh, has the Wandering Trader and Mobheads data pack been updated on the website? It's been updated on the website and it's been updated on Hermitcraft. Ah, a lot of them went back through the portal as well. What if our rabbits were ugly and then some predators started thinking that they were kind of cute and didn't eat them? That would explain why some animals are so cute. But yeah, that's it. You just, like, we all, like, kind of on an emotional level understand, like, oh, animals so cute. Like, baby rabbit, a kitten, a puppy. It's like, it has that, like, reaction in you. But then if you, like, just think of it from a... Wait, where am I going to here? Gone to the wrong place. Think of it from a, like... remove the emotion and just think like, what is it? There's underlying mechanics in genetics that make a creature start off this way to evoke that reaction in you. I find that so fascinating. think of it from that way as well. Baby alpacas are the best. I imagine they are. Alpacas are amazing anyway. You should make the same nether hub as last year, says Purple Peanut. Nah, I think that idea will remain in Season 6. It's such a mega project. That's what I'm looking for. That is literally what I'm looking for. All of that. Thank you very much. Animals want us dead. They believe we are corrupting the earth and they will be the end of us, says Retrospectives. I can't take that seriously. I can't take that seriously. We're animals. We forget that. We're animals too. Sawbar says, my cat doesn't think that. Yeah, I can think of a certain little doggy that wouldn't want me dead. You sound so tired, says Kale. It's getting towards the end of the day. Maybe it's starting to show up in my voice. Okay, so I can actually like come down to this level. Well, we'll start this way. For Season 8, you should do the majority of it in the Nether. I don't know about that. My Season 8 plan, I've really got like... I really want to do something different to the big projects next season. I do love them. It's... I don't know. It just feels like... I kind of want to get something different out of myself now. Like, I kind of know I'm capable of everything I'm doing. And I'd just like to find like a new thing. And I just feel like you have to play slow to figure that out sometimes. And these big projects are not playing slow. They're playing fast, you know. Is cute a human thing, or do all mammals have it, says Red Skimmer? Yeah, loads of baby creatures have it, so... You know, it goes beyond just us, I'm pretty sure. Or do you mean, do they? Well, right, so do animals see it? Because... every now and then you hear like the anecdotal story of like, I don't know, like a mother cat that adopts a baby puppy or vice versa, right? I've definitely heard anecdotal stories like that. And it totally seems reasonable, right, that it could happen. Right, what were people saying about Corellis? Oh, I was talking about the tag. Yeah, we've been swapping the tag about. Elephants see us as cute in the same way we see puppies, says Donut Obsession. True fact, elephants think humans are cute. Yeah, so quite a few people mention elephants. I mean, we don't know that they see us as cute. They might just think we're curious, or, oh, we like the look of that creature, right? It might also be like, you know, historical. There might be a historical relationship, because you might see some... Actually, do you know what? Here's such a weird thing, right? Like, think of all the animals and whatnot on planet Earth, and that you have a reaction to them. Like, those reactions you have, they might be deeply genetic, right? You might think of it as like, oh, I don't like the look of snakes or whatever, right? But what would it be like to see a truly, utterly alien creature? I guess it's probably like looking at giant squids from under the sea, right? Like, there might be a level of like genetic predisposition to how you react to certain types of animals, and so animals therefore might have that as well. So, you know, a historical relationship between elephants and humans living side by side may have developed that relation, like that genetic built-in reaction they have to us. Do we know it's cuteness? I don't think they can tell us if it's cuteness or not, but they obviously have some sort of positive relation with us. X, you should look up speculative biology and Biblioradian. That sounds interesting. That's getting put on my to-do, my little research list. Have you ever seen a baby charmeleon? I have not. I've not seen that. So we've got noises in the ear from JPow7152. Deaf Kink a Joe. Hey, I'm Benton for 10 months. We got Puknad Twitch, probably butchered your name, with a donation saying love the content. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate the support. Pistonless Tom has subscribed mid flurp. That gamer 123 for 8 months saying very grateful to be able to watch all your streams and videos. Loving season 7. Thank you so much. Ninja Geoff. Ninja Jeff is here for 18 months saying I ran out of toilet paper and now I'm using lettuce leaves. Really? Today was just the tip of the iceberg. Tomorrow remains to be seen. Brilliant joke. I thought you were serious. Severus Gans has subscribed. Gun 301 gifting free subs to Animalales, Lucky VT, and Lego Games 16. Thank you so much, Gun, for the support there. Very much appreciate those gifted subs. Suma, which was your favourite podcast episode? Says Ganesh. Probably Joe Rogan and Matthew Walker, the Sleep podcast. I mean, there's been so many really great podcasts, right? But I would call that one out just because I found that one so like groundbreaking and like, oh my god, I need to take sleep seriously. And also, since hearing that and taking sleep very seriously, which to be fair, I actually, you know, took sleep seriously to begin with, but just to the extent in which I was like, I'm going to optimize my sleep. And then feel the effects of that. Yeah, that's like been quite a profound one for me. And then there's been plenty others, but the thing with podcasts is they're like radio shows. They're kind of like a bit disposable in a way. Even though you get like this incredible brain food out of them, there'll be ones that you just listen to, and I can, now that I'm starting to think about it, right? There's been a couple of is that the only two Jocko, what's his name? Jocko Wilkins or something? The only two of his podcasts I've actually tuned in and listened to have been two of the most like unbelievably profound ones I've listened to. He interviewed, or you know, did a podcast with a Holocaust survivor, which was just so intense, and also someone from the military who was deployed in Iraq, right? And I used to be, again, talking earlier about learning other perspectives, listening to other people. I used to be such like an anti-war, anti-military person. I still am. Like, I hate war, I hate death and dying and people killing each other. But you know what? I took the time to actually listen to people in the military and start to understand things from a different perspective. Anyway, that's like a, you know, a whole waffle or whatever. But he interviewed someone who went to Iraq and like had what was almost like a Hollywood script, you know, hand-to-hand combat and killing someone and watching them die right before their eyes and losing his platoon, or what they're called, his squadron, and feeling responsible for it. And you know, listening to the two of them talk and hearing the weight in the voice, like, it was so real. It's just nothing like watching a movie or anything. It was like a very real person to person. You could feel it. You could feel the weight. And yeah, it was just such a profound podcast that I listened to of his. So yeah, there's a couple. I'll tell you some more come to mind. Joe Rogan's podcast with Russell Brand. Those are just some of my absolute favourite, their discussions. Really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Podcast tip: Heavyweights is really good. Yeah, there's so many podcasts out there, but the thing with podcasts and finding new ones and whatnot is that they take a fair bit of investment because they go on for hours, right? So I'm not really in the act of like finding new podcasts. I try like every now and then I'll try something, and it's kind of like tricky to find something you really like, but I tend to just stick with the ones, you know, I enjoy. Do you listen to Hello Internet or the CJP podcast? I do not. I know CJP is. I think I've listened to one of their podcasts before, but it didn't particularly pull me in. X, you're a cat or dog person, says Mr. Longears. I love both cats and dogs. All animals are amazing. How could you be one or the other? What a tragedy. What a tragedy to just, you know, throw yourself in the group of like, hey, I like these ones but not those. Do you remember what a nether reactor is? Yeah, it's something from one of those other Minecraft editions, right? X, if you don't fill in the space behind the wall, will mobs spawning there? Oh yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. Let's make sure there's a torch for every gap. That's what we need. That's my campaign promise. Assumer for Mayor of the Portal. A torch for every gap. It looks like that one had a gap. I'll be able to camera count it later, actually. That's what I'll probably do. Just whiz around with the camera count and look in all the gaps and see if I missed something. Do you listen to Misfits podcast? I had no idea the Misfits had a podcast. But I do know that Danzig had his Facebook account hacked or something, and like his response was just hilarious. Oh, I won't repeat it, but my goodness me, it made me laugh. Assumer for Mayor, torches in every gap, says Firefox. That should become like a little meme, right? Our own little joke from the stream. Little meme. Torches for every gap. I bet that'll sound well confusing to people. Torches for every gap? What's he on about? It's so fun to hear you discuss consciousness. I think you're ready to step deeper into in deeper. Recommend Sean Carroll the podcast, Mindscape podcast. That's one of the ones that I tune into. I haven't listened to too many of them, but I always check in and see what the discussion is about. I find like the conversation to be a little too technical. I feel like I'm behind their language a lot when I listen to that one. So you know, quite often they're not quite my cup of tea. But you know, sometimes I pick up on a good one that I'll enjoy. But yeah, it gets really technical, I guess is probably the best word. I saw your interview in Mumbo, so hilarious. Oh, did he put it out already? X, do you have a religion? Says Leo. I do not. I'm not a religious person. What about Logan Paul's podcast? I mean, just everything that guy's been through and listening to him talk about is how he handled that situation, how he came back from it. It just doesn't feel like somewhere I would go to for entertainment. Right, my friends, I think this is our point right here to wrap up the live stream. It's been a good fun one again. I enjoy it. I always enjoy live streaming. It's been fantastic. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me today. Thank you to all the peeps who donated, who cheered, to all the people who followed, and to all of you who subscribed as well. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go raid a random Minecraft channel today. We're gonna go pick someone with not a lot of subs or viewers even. Let's go for under 100, right? And possibly in English. Okay, Minecraft Olympics. I'm sending you to the Olympics, peeps, alright? So, yeah, random channel, just supporting the Minecraft community here. We're going to go over to Gizzy14 Gaza. Right, so before you head out of here, be sure to hit the follow button. Thank you again, everyone. I appreciate your support ever so much. Hit the raid button in chat and participate as we raid this individual. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, peeps. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.